Good morning, viewers. Welcome back to the Mailman. My name's Punith. You're joining me on a very rainy British morning. If you're new here, welcome. You're joining the Mailman audience. The Mailman is essentially a brand focused on breaking the stigma around male body image issues and the mental health impact it can have on males of all ages. And yeah, you might have not seen me for a while. I have been a little bit quiet for some reason. This is the first video of November, I think. I've just felt a little bit in a funk. I haven't been running. That's kind of stopped for a couple of weeks. I kind of felt just a little bit low. Had a few sort of breakout instances where I didn't really want to be on camera, kind of felt shy, essentially body image issues, which is funny because that's what this whole channel is about, breaking that stigma. But yeah, I just kind of felt a little bit off just being on camera and kind of showing my face, especially not really being running. Definitely kind of felt the energy lower in myself as a result of not running. So kind of answered my own question there, right? I should carry on running to keep those good vibes flowing through my body. But yeah, I just kind of felt a little bit low. But nonetheless, I just thought there's no point in just wallowing away and 1 week becoming 2 weeks and then 2 weeks again, just growing to 3 and 4, and then suddenly I've just not done anything for the rest of this year. I thought I just need to make a video and just reconnect with people. So I'm back. There is no particular topic that I wanted to talk about today. It was just really a sort of a touching base to kind of say I still have my body image issues. I've kind of felt them creeping back in over the last few weeks, and obviously now I'm at a point where I just almost felt I need the support and reassurance from other people to be able to just continue day to day, rather than just kind of feeling low and lacking energy, and just feeling like I'm going to be judged for everything I do. But it's hard because I'm so used to that. I've had decades of being controlled or influenced by other people into kind of determining how I feel on that day. And that's all to do with body image. And I'm really trying to force myself not to give a shit about how I look. And certainly not let anyone impact how I feel as a result. But it is hard. It's really difficult to just erase all of that pre-wired nature about me over years and years of being told I should look different, and I need to I need to change the way I look in order to fit in. That's been like a thing that's been sort of drilled into me from a very young age. So it's hard to break that sort of mold, and that could be for various kind of body image issues. Mine were to do with my weight, my size, my complexion. Obviously, being an Asian kid growing up in a very white community, that was like the first thing that was flagged to me. You are different. You look different from everyone else in this school, and if you want to fit in, you have to change the way you look. And then it became a little bit more to do with how big I was and my size, and that never really changed. I've kind of spent a lot of my years being big, or bigger than other kids, but I was always made to feel like that was wrong, and I shouldn't be the weight I am, or I shouldn't be the size or shape, or I shouldn't have the man boobs or the love handles or the back fat But then I went to the flip side and I lost a load of weight. But I did it basically because I was kind of forced to. I didn't want to be going to uni feeling like I was, bullied, or I wanted the attention. I wanted to kind of fit in, which it did. It worked. But I kind of thought, I'm not doing this for me. I'm not like comfortable. Comfortable for me is being able to eat what I want, exercise, keep fit, and whether I change the way I look or not. If it happens, it happens. If it doesn't, I need to be able to just be content with myself and be like, I'm fine. I'm fine if I don't see any physical changes, because I'm healthy, I'm comfortable, I'm doing the things that I like doing. I'm not gonna do anything because someone else is telling me to change. But yeah, it's not always as easy as that. So yeah, if you watch videos before, you'll kind of understand my journey throughout the years, what I've kind of had to go through in different stages. If you're new though, I guess the summary is I've gone through a whole range of male body image issues. As I said, I've been big for a lot of my years. I've also been thin and almost very underweight for a couple of years, and I've fluctuated, and it's not just been about weight and size for me. It's also, I had a huge period about acne, and my skin was just unbearable. And you might think it's 1 or 2 spots. I'm talking, I could see more spots in terms of ratio from skin to spot. I could see more spots on my face at one point. That's how bad it was. So yeah, my journey through that, Roaccutane, different kind of drugs, just the kind of mental health impact, the mental impact it had on me as a result, the confidence being knocked. And these are all things that I'm still suffering with today. I kind of feel that my reaction to certain things is far worse than it should be. I said I didn't want to be on camera because I had a few spots and a breakout. Realistically, I would have given that breakout, I would have taken that breakout, any day compared to what I had to grow up with when it was at its worst. Like, it really, in the grand scheme of things, wasn't anything to be concerned or worried about. But the impact it had on me was I reacted to that in a very different way, and I felt like it was the end of the world. So I think there's a few things over my life, and things that have impacted me that are still impacting me today, and it's just about getting used to that and sort of understanding and accepting that there is no true way of looking. There is no perfect way of looking. We're molded and impacted by what we see on social media and what society deems as the perfect body or the perfect look. There is no perfect. It's really a conception that's been drilled in over years and years by everyone. Like it's not just it's not in the dictionary. This is the perfect way of looking. It's been defined by like fashion or society or social media or entertainment. Like that's what's drilled into people through different methods, and as a result you grow up thinking, well, if I want to be perfect, I need to look like one of these people that's being used as an example on social media or TV or on newspapers or billboards. There is no real definition of perfection from an image point of view, and that's what's hard, because you scroll and you see all this stuff on TV or on YouTube or whatever, and it's like you've got it coming at you from all angles. You've got it quite hard, actually. If you're suffering, and I'm in my kind of late 30s, and I didn't grow up with a phone or social media or Facebook or Instagram or YouTube. So it's a bit kind of hard to understand how difficult, you know, the teens, especially the younger generation, have it, because they are getting bombarded with this stuff constantly. And so to an extent, they probably are going to have it worse than I did. But, you know, as a middle-aged man, I can see what's coming across my own feed, so I can only imagine what the kids are going through and what they're feeling as a result of their social media, you know, feeds. And so it's really quite scary that this is the sort of world that they're growing up with, that they're being bombarded by different types of content depicting the perfect way of looking. And if you don't look like that, you're made to feel shit, or your friends make you feel shit, or society makes you feel shit, or some random prick walking down the road makes you feel like shit. That's just the way it is. That's just such a crap way of living life. However, if we lived in a world where we just felt, I don't really care what anyone else thinks of me or how I look, because there is no perfect way of looking, and then suddenly you got more people being more confident and comfortable within themselves, more people being able to just do what they want, wear what they want, and not feel embarrassed or shy, or, you know, feel like they're going to be judged. That's what I want to get to, because selfishly, if I see more people doing that surrounding me and, you know, being comfortable in that sense, I'll be forced to do that. I'll be forced to kind of feel, you know what, why am I dressing in a certain way so I look slimmer, when he's wearing whatever he wants and he doesn't care what he looks like. He doesn't care about what people may or may not be saying about him. I will then feel motivated and pumped to be like, you know what, fuck this, I'm just going to wear what I want as well. But if everyone had or approached life in that kind of way, it would be ridiculous. There's just so many comfortable, free people walking about. But anyway, this is like the long-term ambition of this brand and the community, and yeah, it's a nice vision, but obviously I need to kind of push myself to kind of really work on myself and, you know, act as that role model. But I think there are so many others out there that a wider audience can connect with. Celebrities, influencers, people that have gone through something similar, or they've had their own, you know, body image issues. I think someone to join the community, you know, be an ambassador, be a face of the brand with me, you know, to kind of share what their experiences are. Because ultimately, I'm just a random guy that does videos like this on the way to work, whereas, you know, there are plenty of other people who actually connect with the audience. They've got an audience, they've got a following that would listen to them. I think that would be great, you know, creating some sort of movement behind this whole thing. But yeah, so bit of a long-winded video, but you kind of get the summary of what I'm trying to achieve here. This group, this brand, this channel, community, it's all focused around male body image issues. So if you've got any insecurities, or you're suffering with anything silently and you haven't had anyone to turn to, reach out to me, message me. I'm on Instagram, themailman_1. Send me a message, connect with me, do whatever you need to do, because I know what it's like to be essentially alone and not really feeling like anyone else gets this stuff. And it's a really difficult place to be in, because you might have the best support behind you. You might have some incredible people telling you, don't worry, it's fine, you're worrying too much, I don't even see the spots, or what do you mean you think you're fat, you look great. You might have all of these great people supporting you, just like friends should, but deep down, you know, you just don't feel fully comfortable with something. I get it. I've been there. I've had plenty of support like that. when it's not the right support, if you know what I mean. It's like it's really great that people are doing that, but it's not what I need in that moment. I know what you're talking about, what you're gonna be feeling. So just drop me a message, let me know how you are feeling, and I'll hear you out. Obviously, everyone has their own insecurities and their own problems that they're not happy with, and I might not understand exactly what your issue is, but the general feeling behind it, believe me, I've lived almost 3 decades with those same feelings. So yeah, I'm going to try and continue with my more frequent videos, so please do subscribe, like, join, because ultimately that's the only way we're going to broadcast this channel wider, and yeah, increase the community really that hopefully will follow, because I get there are more interesting videos to be watching, and watching a guy just ramble on about mental health and body image is probably less exciting than watching one of these more popular YouTubers who does crazy things to a younger audience, which is definitely far more interesting. But I get it, so just let me know. Just give me your thoughts and ideas if you have any ideas around how I can change the content even, or I can do things differently to connect with a different type of audience. I'm all ears. Until next time, thank you very much for watching. I've been the Mailman. My name is Punith. I wasn't just born with a really random name like the Mailman, but yeah, thank you again, and until next time, take it easy, and yeah, reach out if you really do need to connect and talk to someone.